y'all? Big Red here, coming at you another Fallout 76 video on the channel. Hope all my fellow blockbills out there are thriving and surviving in the wasteland. Appreciate all my subscribers and my tuning in and watching. Once again, you know, sorry, once a week, but a lot of stuff to test, and before I put something out, I want to be thorough in the things that I do, and that's a big part of it, with plus my job. So anyway, appreciate y'all's patience, and yeah, without further ado, as you can see, this is going to be the Ghoul Slinger, the Ghoul Gunslinger build based on the Gamagun pistol, more or less. It is a beast. You see the shredding this, these level 100 super mutants like it's no problem. Anything in the wasteland, normal enemies, you're just going to tear right through. What makes this weapon so fun, so unique, as you see, look, if you get up close and personal, you'll refill your glow. So you'll have an unlimited glow, like a vampire's weapon, as you heal yourself with the radiation, and you also fill up your glow, so you can use glow related cards, so you can have more power, more damage. It is a beast of a build. It has a different unique play style that you can only have since the Ghoul update. You got long range, but at the same time you want to run to your target sometimes, and you get up close and personal. The thing is a beast when it's up close and personal, with the gorilla perks kicking in and you getting the radiation from your shots, keeping your glow going, and your glow related damage perks. It makes it just super fun, super easy playstyle, really loose, really loosey-goosey type of playstyle. You can just run and gun. But is it good enough? Can we take it up against the harder content? What will it do against bosses? Can you run it through the raids? Is it just something you can just run through events? Well, that's what we're going to get to. So without further ado, let's go to the raids first, and then we'll go see Mr. Earl, and at that time we will start going over the build. So let's go to the raids and let's show you just what this weapon can really do. Alright, here we go. We had conductors. I do recommend conductors with pinpointers. We will show the pinpointer run, but with pinpointers, you struggle with AP when you try to spam coffee, and because of the amount of reload you have to do, you don't utilize that coffee to its fullest. I mean, it helps a little bit. Don't get me wrong, but it's not wrong to have one with pinpoint, one with conductors. But I think going against harder targets where you want your AP to regen, I think conductor is really the way to go. We did take a bobblehead and a magazine to help with the damage, get a little extra crit damage. Try to take this weapon over the top. It is a pistol, remind you. We did take Steve T's. Now we will go against the Guardian. I'll only use like easier buffs, but because the target is more higher up in the air, it takes longer for your projectiles to hit. You know, I went with a little bit more of an AP boost with the Steve T's, which I would recommend if you do play with this gun when you go against some of the boss fights, and be able to farm some of those Steve T's and have them just sit back. But for normal play and most bosses, you know, you can just use your regular like mud fruit and tater juice. We'll go over the build in a minute, just kind of showing it to you a little bit just to see what we're doing, because I always change it up depending on what boss I'm going to. If I don't need ricochet, I'm gonna take it off. I'm not in boss fights. I'm gonna have good assault. I put battle jeans on with this fight in a combination of the solo armor to get be kind of like having sawbones and solo armor together. But we did that for our health regen. Conductors is helping, like I said, with our AP. So our AP is 550 after a hard lemonade. We do use the endanger all because, you know, most of our damage that we do that really counts is ballistic. So here we go. Look at some of these crit numbers. I mean, we're getting some high 2000s, like 2900 on those crits. Dude, that is sick. This weapon is a beast. It is a fun weapon. Now, what are we getting? 4,000. We'll take one for the team. High threes. It's hard to tell sometimes. right at 4,000, which would take a one for the team was triggered. Only problem with this weapon is not the fact they can't do damage, it's the fact that, you know, you don't have a bigger mag to put inside of it. Like, you don't have a bigger ammo option, you know. You could run a quad, and then you could also increase the ammo with a different type of clip, like a drum clip or something. Would make this weapon a beast. It is definitely not the most powerful pistol. Like, I mean, the Gauss pistol and a single action revolver get the most damage per shot, but for DPS in a boss fight, I'm going Gamagun any day if I'm running a pistol build. It is a fun weapon. I mean, look at we are getting good damage on old Stinky Poo. Outside power armor, we're thriving and surviving, and we are chunking this health down. No, it's not gonna beat your Gatling Plasma. No, it's not gonna beat your Auto Axe or Shredder, or, you know, but it is a fun weapon to use. It is a fun play style, just something different and mix up in your arsenal, run around with a pistol and be able to steal solo bosses. So you'll do fine playing in events, doing the raid. If I'm able to do it solo, you'll definitely be able to do it, you know, on a team. If you want to play with the pistol and run around as a apocalyptical cowboy with a radiation gun that just melts bosses. Boom, right at 208. Like I said, it ain't gonna win any contests, but definitely capable of holding its own and soloing a boss, and also really participating in any other event. So definitely raid worthy in my opinion. All right, I know pinpointers is going to change next update, and it's going to be additive, and it won't be able to use headshots, and it's going to be really a sucky 4-star. But I did this run before I knew that, and so I'm gonna go ahead and just show it what it does with the extra multiplicative bonus of your 4-star instead of conductors, and with those simple the steep P's. You actually know we get our AP up high enough that it does decently. We because our build, because of being a herbivore as a ghoul, if you're using Vats, you're able to get away from Action Boy and get that 25% from your company T. Look at our AP, we just ran out. Look how quick it's coming back. That's because of the company T. So we're really never totally in a real bind, but it can get you in a bind at times if you're right there to finish off, like the Guardian. It did it to me a couple of times when I was trying to kill the Guardian. But all in all, it does fairly good with the AP using the pinpointers. Not as good as conductors, obviously. Definitely get more damage. We're getting like 3,500 on the criticals, or with taking one for the team, we're getting like 4,500. We're definitely tanking up with battle jeans and our solo armor. It's helping our health regen. I do have to have a couple hit a couple stim packs in the fight where I don't have to worry about it with the conductors, and the conductors are giving me healing and regen in my AP. Definitely an easier play style with the conductors, more unlimited Vats, unlimited health, but if we go for more max damage, I guess Polish would be the way to go after the next update when they change pinpointers. But I really think conductors is the way to go. There's a 4,500. That is sick. That's with a gamma pistol, and on the short gamma, I messed up the run. I hit the wrong button, but should have been like a minute 50 seconds, but winds up being like 158. It's like 10 seconds faster than the conductors. But the conductors is not going to change. That build, using that for your prefix, having your build like that is going to make it to the next update. Now that it won't be like a pinpointer that's going to be obsolete. But like I say, if you want a little more damage, I guess, you know, have one with conductors and one with polish. You get that 60% extra damage. But tell me, what would you like? Do you want just that plug and play with the conductors? And if you're playing on a team, you're not solely responsible for DPS. Conductors is more than okay to get you by. All right, let's go over the armor as we go over the Guardian. Alright, here we go with the armor. As you can see, you're watching a robot. Watch the damage we take when we lose our glow. How much he knocks off of us. How quick it can happen when we get up close. We'll go in shielded rated leathers because it has no radiation resistance. It gives us 3 perception, 3 agility, 1 look. That's 3 agility is 30 to our AP, which we need all the AP we can get. As a ghoul, your AP is definitely a struggle without Thirst Quencher. The next thing we're going to be using for the armor is solar armor. Solar armor because it has no radiation resistance, so we don't have to vest it and breathe it in. That's 3 points we can save to vest into Eye of the Hunter and awareness. And also solar armor because it gives us 4 HP per second. And when you team that up with battle genes, that's 8 HP per second. That's almost like having a pair of like sawbones on there. Very, very powerful combination when you're in combat. Yeah, that's why we're going with solar armor. Troubleshooters because as you can see how much damage we're taking. That's what troubleshooters in a dense chest piece. Troubleshooters for the raids. If you're not going to do any raid content, then you don't need troubleshooters. You can go with vanguards or aristocrats. But if you're going to do raid content outside power armor, you need a set of troubleshooter armor. Hey, no questions asked. And you're not going to struggle with any other content having troubleshooters. Don't you think I have troubleshooters? I'm only using it for the robot. What am I going to do against everybody else? And you're almost immortal. I mean, you have unlimited glow by irradiating yourself with the gun that you're using, with the healing effect of the solar armor. I mean, you're so tanky with the defense mitigation perks you have. That little bit you get from vanguards, aristocrats, it's not that much. I mean, but if you want to have 2 sets of armor, then all means, you know, have 2 sets of armor. There's nothing wrong with that. You do you. You're wasteland. We're just living in it. But in my opinion, troubleshooters is more than enough to get you by. It has a purpose, especially when you're playing raids, and it's more than enough to get you by any other content. As you see us taking a snake on, and you see us take Earl on. But you can do as you like. But troubleshooters will more than get you by. You do need to have several different chest pieces that maximize it. Dense for the robot, and for Scorchbeast Queen because it takes 50% less explosion damage. You want asbestos lining because it makes you immune to getting caught on fire. You want that for going against Earl or when there's fire hazards around. And then you want to be able to have a jetpack. And I keep my jetpack on my fast wheel. It is Brotherhood of Recon, but you gotta have it level 40, and you can cancel out the radiation by breathing it in. But I use that when I'm going through easier content. I switch to my other asbestos or dense whenever I'm in harder content. I need the effects of the solar armor, or I want to take away from breathing in and invest in awareness or Eye of the Hunter. But for most content, it's easy. I can leave my jetpack on, and you're more than okay. So I covered the chest pieces. The next thing is going to be you need 2 pieces to be strengthened, because you see how close we get with the Gamagun at times. It's almost like a melee weapon whenever you want to recharge your radiation. And against a tank you're in here like Earl maybe, or like the robot, it will cripple you. So having 2 pieces of strengthen will give us plus 20 limb damage resistance. So I guess it's an extra 40 limb damage resistance. So that right there, I had no problem my limbs breaking. Having these 2 plus the adamantium skeleton was more than enough to get me by and keep me tanky enough. You also want gorilla the perks to kick in when you're using a Gamagun to get that extra damage from your stacks. Ultralight on 2 pieces to put those on the arms, so it gives us plus 5 action points, which adds 10 to our AP. So you see we get 10 from that. Now the next thing is going to be plus 2 agility on every piece. Plus 2 agility because it's going to add 100 to our max AP, because every point in agility is 10 to your AP, so that's 20 per piece, and there's 5 pieces, so that's 100 to our max AP. You take that with the ultralight, that's 110 plus the under armor, that's 140 from our armor and under armor, adding to our AP. That is really good, especially as a ghoul. You need all the help you can get. Then you want through hikers because you don't want to waste 4 points in your loadout, because every point is precious and you have so many good cards to choose from, and why waste it on through hiker and on traveling pharmacy whenever you can put it on your armor? The little bit you get from sentinels or from cavaliers is not worth it in my opinion, versus having extra cards you can invest to, like brick wall or radiation power, or you know, awareness for your Vats. But anyway, that's my opinion. Alright, as we finish off a little bit left of the armor, we're going to jump into the Earl fight. So get you a snack and a little frosty beverage and kick back and relax as we take on Earl with our quad conductors. Through hiker on the 3rd star. Limit breakers, because we don't want to have to invest another 7 points in Nuka-Cola Dark. That's what you have to invest to use Nuka-Cola Dark. Limit breakers allows us to have more of a lazy build where we can get our crits every second shot, no problem. We only got to have 17 luck, because it's minus 50% the cost of critical hits on a full stack. So from 33 to 17, you get that from having herd mentality and just being on team. Even when you're solo, you'll have enough to get a crit every second shot. So keeps it a real loosey-goosey, kind of easy play style, having limit breakers on there. Alright, that is the armor, and I think we covered it all. Alright, here we are against Earl. You saw it did good against the Guardian, so it's rate approved. Now we're showing you what to do. And this is with the troubleshooter set. Like I said, you're not going to have any problem staying alive. I mean, look how powerful this build is. I mean, being able to get close to your enemy and have unlimited glow, which means you have unlimited health, you have unlimited power from your glow perks. You're maximizing all those extra powers, glowing criticals, radiation power, science monster. Very powerful, very unique to this update, to being a ghoul. Finally something good to use with the Gamagun, to go around as a post-apocalyptic cowboy gunslinger, running and gunning to your enemies and being immortal and charging yourself. Very, very cool, very fun, very blinding. So sorry I didn't put that in there for sensitivity to photosensitive lights. But yeah. Alright, let's go over, look at some of those crits. 1500, dude, that's sick. That is sick. I mean, it's not automatic for Gatling Plasma, but it does put a pistol up in the top tier of boss killing weapons, in my opinion. It is a decent weapon. It'll more to get you by. Let's go over the build and then watch the rest of the fight. Alright, here is the legendary perks for application of any legendary perks or specials. 5 in strength, 6 in perception, 5 in endurance, 6 in charisma, 9 in intelligence, 10 in agility, and a 15 in luck. In the legendary perks, we have taking one for the team. It's still one of the best multiplicative damages we still have in the game. When someone attacks you, you get 40% more damage. Gotta have it, you want it, you need it. It don't matter what 4 you use, as long as you can get the point total to what we need. Funky does for more for poison resist, going through the rage, definitely essential. We have, like I said, you can't tap into any type of natural resistance to get any type of elemental resistance, so you definitely need Funky Duds. And 4 specials, a total of 20 points into the build to get the perk cards. Blocker, definitely essential, taking 45% less melee damage opponent attacks, and this will help you stay alive and thriving. Everything's trying to melee you in Fallout. You're in Apocalypse. Brick Wall is another card that will help you thrive and survive, because it will make you immune to stagger. And this thing, you see when you go against a snake, it don't even phase you. You'll see Earl not even phases, the Scorchbeast Queen not even phases. Definitely an OP card you need in your build as a ghoul. Tankular for armor penetration and for stagger. We got concentrated fire 3 because we get a little more higher Vats concentration fire, and we get plus 3 damage per shot. It gets you to that 95% real quick. You need it at 3 to really maximize it. We got awareness at 2 to help with our Vats accuracy, and our perception is it's all right. With the little food buff, we'll get up over 16. We got Eye of the Hunter. These two do stack, so we get an extra 20% back to accuracy. So we're getting an extra base percentage on that, and a guaranteed 20% with Eye of the Hunter. Grenadier, because this is going to help whenever we get up close and we're And we're running to these targets, and we're blasting them with our Gamagun, the radiation, the zone, the explosion. We're going to benefit from this. It's going to heal us. It's going to make our glow grow back, and we're going to be able to have unlimited glow when we're up close and personal with our enemies. Life Giver for more tankiness, get more life, more health, more glow. Definitely an essential card. We got, hold on, let's do this real quick. I was doing something and didn't change that back. Change that back, and let me put this on. Alright, now this is what I'll play normally going through events. So I have Adamantium Skeleton, get like I said, with our Strengthen, that's adding to our limbs break slower, or reduction of limbs breaking. Fireproof for tankiness and from explosions. Ironclad at 1, so we get, from wearing our matching set, we get 30% more protection. This is adding to our resistance, making us more tanky. Radiation power, because we can be so close, because we can run up to our enemies and blast them with our Gamagun, and unless in events where you can't be, like against a snake or the robot, where you really can't be so up close where you can benefit from your Gamagun irradiating you, getting you more glow, then I will take that off and work something else in, whether it's making Ironclad at 3, whether it's putting on glowing out. Maybe I need to spam some toxic goo because I can't really just radiate myself. Those are some options right there for you to do. Stranger Numbers, giving you 25% more from your mutation, which affects our crit damage. You see we're getting 125 from our crit damage from a herbivore. That's because of Stranger Numbers. It also helps our AP, our carry weight, all our mutations are boosted by this. You want it, gotta have it. Tenderizer for more damage. We got United Ordeal. This is adding an extra 30 to our max AP. As long as you know that you're on a team with a Ghoul, then you can benefit from this and help you. And this is built to play on a team. I know I did a lot of stuff solo, but this is built, so you can play together on a team. You can maximize the damage that you'll get. Will be more when you're on a team. Then over in intelligence, I don't have a glowing one on there. You could come off awareness, keep out of the hunter. You can say you want to come off awareness. If you want to have a glowing one, if you think it's a valid card for you, then maybe take off 2 points and put over here. But there's not a lot of points to go around. It's kind of scary us, so that would be my suggestion. Though I didn't run with it because I wasn't really playing around. A lot of people. I was doing all this solo just to show you how powerful it can be, even solo. Then you know it's going to be powerful when you're on a team. Hold on one sec. So we got him down before Liquid Courage right now. It wasn't a record-breaking time, but it held its own. This is a fun weapon, and it's just a different play style that's unique to this update, and I think it did really good. Now we're going to go in, we're going to show you against the Scorchbeast Queen just exactly how it will perform with a flying target. And no, you can't survive a nuclear blast as a Ghoul. I found that out the hard way. Real quick, let's look at our perk loadout as it comes up. And show you like this, like when I went solo, like what I did, in case you do want to play solo. I moved off United Feral, I moved off Strange in Numbers, and then I vested into agility, 5 into agility, off the points off my charisma. So my agility, I had +5 legendary agility on top of my 5 agility, and I obviously took off take one per team, invest into another perk card. That way I could invest more points in the loadout. I did that because I wasn't going to benefit from the Stranger Numbers with my AP or from United Ordeal, getting more from AP from that. So I had to invest +5 into my AP. Alright, everything else stayed the same. So let's get into it and show you what we get in a radiation zone. I have Demolition Expert. Now I had it at 3 and I had this at 2, but my gun kept breaking. So you're going to have to make that choice yourself if you're willing to sacrifice a little 10%, because you're not, I mean, that's from the explosion damage, so it is a part of the damage, but it ain't all the damage. I mean, so I did sacrifice a little bit of for the explosion damage, and I sacrificed 5%, which ain't really much, to get gunsmith at 2, so my weapon won't break so easily, because this weapon will break pretty quickly. So I do recommend having some level of gunsmith, or you're going to be constantly repairing it in the middle of a fight. So some level of gunsmith is definitely recommended to run this weapon. Signs at 2, any of the signs, 2 of them maxed out and 1 of them at 1. With Demolition Expert at 2 to make room for gunsmith at 2. Baggage included for carry of our ammo. We got Science Monster because this don't cost any glow, and we get 15% bonus damage when we're hit. Works kind of like Stranger Number. I mean, like taking one for the team. So, it happens whenever we have glow. So we want to keep our glow so we can benefit from this. So we'll be able to keep it pretty easily in most events with the Gamagun. We got all our onslaught mechanics going, so we get a max 20 stacks from our gunslinger and our gorilla and gorilla expert, gorilla master. And then we got gun fu at 1 to swap targets to make our bats a little more efficient. We got gun tricks. Now if I'm only having 1 target, I'll take gun fu off. I'll put gun tricks at 2 because I'm reloading so much. They'll give us a 20% faster reload. But if I'm switching targets a lot, if there's more than 1 target in an event, then I'm gonna run gun fu. Some options there. Over in luck, we got better criticals with extra 100% critical damage. The power of the build, these Vats criticals, you see some of the criticals we're getting on a snake, over 3,000, 4,000. So this gun's got some power. It is not no chump. Critical Savvy's worked with our armor, giving us limit breakers, giving us a crit every second shot. We're gonna look at 17. Faulty spots, multiplicative bonus by 15% to weak point damage. Yes, you want this. Wild West hands, it does trigger sometimes. It's not, it's pretty solid, and when it does, it is nice. So I went with this over Bloody Mess because that extra reload, it does help out when it triggers, and yeah, you'll see if you play it. Glowing criticals, when our glow is high, and it's easy to keep your glow high, we get extra 15%. Now this is additive, so you could take a bump off of this and throw some, actually, that's what I was supposed to do. I was going to have ricochet in there. It all depends. It is where your build has to be very flexible. Ricochet, you could put glowing criticals at 2 and put Grim for sprint in there if you needed to. I sometimes would come back and I'll put my Ghoul of Assault, because maybe I'm doing some runs where I don't have to worry about it ain't so hard. I might put 4-leaf clover and just go without glowing criticals. I put glowing criticals when I'm going more against a boss. I'll get rid of Ghoul of Assault. So you have options there in your build. Your build's always got to be flexible. But glowing criticals when I am going against a boss, definitely I do work that in. I mean, like I said, that's it. That is the build. Alright, silly me, we forgot to go over the gun. I have to go over the mutations real quick while we're finishing off the Scorchbeast Queen. You definitely want to go quad because the ammo capacity is only 8. If you go Furious, and this is too many reloads for serious DPS. Maybe a daily driver using a Furious, but it's a lot of reloading and I would not suggest it. So quad, because for better DPS, critical damage for your second stars, you're using it in Vats. You want to go higher fire rate because it's going to break even quicker. 91 is a pretty decent fire rate. I go with the crit damage. Action point cost for the third star, definitely essential. 14. If we do the math, 14 for the formula for conductors is 14 AP cost times 2, which would be 28 divided by 5% would be 560. And we can get it pretty close even with the simple buffs. If we use the more steep teas and a hard lemonade, we can get it over that and really be able to put the full effect of conductors. But it works pretty good even getting it up into 500. The conductors is definitely I would go with over the pinpointers. You saw the comparison. Is plus pinpointers is going to be obsolete at the next update, and conductors will keep you in Vats and keep you immortal. And as long as you're in Vats, you're going to be getting those critical shots. You want deep dish on it. Helps with your range and gives you more radiation. You want the sharpshooter's grip or AP cost, the signal repeater to help it be like an explosion, and to be put it into an automatic mode where it fires automatically. Those are the way I would say to go with. Over in the mutations, you want to go herbivore over carnivore. For a simple reason, we get 3 times the benefits of veggies. You see our AP's 500, and that's going to be with simple buffs. I know we don't have the Myler steamer, and we don't have that right there, or the critter cooker as a herbivore, but we do have other things we can do until they make us a steep tea machine. But as a herbivore, we're going to get the crit damage. Our blight suit, which is easily all around the raid. And also, if you go to Hornwright Testing Site 2 right by the raid and run to the southeast, you'll find 30 or 40 blight. So you have unlimited blight with water, and easy buff to get your crit buff, and you get 125% versus a carnivore is 50%. I know a lot of people don't want to play herbivore no more because carnivore is so easy because everything's at your camp. But to maximize its gun's potential and its damage with using it in Vats, you get the Vats criticals, you're getting 75% more crit damage being a herbivore. So I do recommend it. Second reason is your company tea. Look, we're getting 25% AP regen. 500 is pretty good for a ghoul. Now as a human, we can get 700 pretty easy with Thirst Quencher. Being that we don't have a higher AP pool, because the bigger your AP pool, the quicker your AP regens, and you have more to pull from. Having something to regen it faster is definitely essential. And that 25% is not like Action Boy. It's faster. It's harder. And there's a big difference between 25% to 10% AP regen whenever you're playing. You can definitely see it as a visual difference. It also allows you to not run Action Boy or Action Girl or Action Ghoul on your character. You can free those 3 points up. You don't need it because the company team, you saw it working against a snake, how quick your AP was regening throughout the video. You've seen it. You don't need those 3 points. You can invest it into gun fu, adrenaline, whatever you want to invest it into in your agility, all your onslaught perks. So those are 2 reasons why we are a herbivore. The other mutations are Bird Bones, because it gives us 5 agility, which is 50 to our max AP when you're on a team. Eagle Eyes gives us plus 5 perception and plus 63 extra crit damage when we're on a team. Hermitality is giving us $3 special, so that's an extra 30 to our AP to get our AP up high. Marsupial for jumping and carry weight. Speed Demon for reloading. And Unstable Isotope to maybe get a little bit of healing. Those are the mutations. The other buffs that are needed to really make this build be efficient is Mutfruit Juice to get plus 3 agility, which is 30 to your AP. And Tato Juice gives you 25 to your max AP, so that's an extra 55 to your AP. And I know we don't got camp generators as a herbivore, but you can grow at your camp Mutfruit in the Tato plant. And with Green Thumb and with Super Duper, you can produce a lot of this with just water and Mutfruit and water and the Tato Juice, and you will get your AP buff. It is enough running with the Gamagun with the conductors to make you have unlimited Vats. Close enough, not perfect, but close enough. The other buff that I would recommend having is very simple is Soap Bean Soup. It gives you 5 to your endurance, with more endurance, more health, more glow, more life, more power. And you can get Silk Beam from Foundation when you log in, and don't go to the gate, go to the right, and there'll be a garden outside of the wall, and you'll have Silk Beam there. And also Flatwoods. If you go to the church with the responders, there's a planter out there that has Silk Beam growing in it, and you can get Silk Beam there. So you can have plenty of Silk Beam with water and get an extra 5 to your endurance, making you more tanky and have more glow. Those are the simple buffs needed to really help your Vats and be more optimized. Now I would suggest, learning Hard Lemonade. If you don't have it, it can be traded. You can learn it. You can find it in houses as you look around, houses and recipes, because you take a lemonade, which is like acid and water and sugar, and you take that, you make the lemonade first, and then you take a vodka and you mix it with the lemonade and on your mixer machine, on your whatever it's called, the machine to make the alcohols, and it will give you 30 max AP and 10% AP regen, which stacks up on your company team. It lasts for 10 minutes, so that's an extra 30. That's more than any boss fight or any event. Just about you'll be able to make it through and get an extra 30 to your max AP. Very easy to mass produce and use as you're doing, especially on harder content when you want more AP. Also, to recognize a couple simple foods. One is steep melon blossom chai, which will add 5 to your agility. If you ever got Yasmin and Grandma, you get them from Foundation. If you don't have those allies, you can buy them. Or White Springs Refuge, and you can get this and you can stock up on it, and it'll give you 50 to your AP. The other one that is really good is infused soup flower tea, which also give you 50 to your max AP, which also can be gotten from Yasmin and Grandma and White Springs Refuge. See Yasmin right here. World Tour, see what she's got today. See, she's got any AP buffs. And lo and behold, that's the other one. That's the third one as a herbivore. The steep melon bloom tea adds 50 to your max AP. There's 3 herbivore buffs that will give you 50 right there. 1 to your agility and 2 others to your max AP. Easy to come by if you want to have that little extra kick, but you don't need it. You can go with the simple ones, and this build will work properly and will do you more than a-okay. Oh wow, I'm sorry guys for another long video, but I appreciate y'all's patience, and it was just so much to try to pack in there. I want to make sure I'm being thorough and giving, especially a lot of newer players that watch it, giving them all the information. But sorry for y'all's bets for repeating things you may already know, but yeah, I mean, I'd rather make a thorough video than make one at all. But wow, the Gamagun, I did not think it was going to be that good. I didn't think it would be able to compete with other weapons and be a competitive boss killer. It's not the top, but it ain't the worst either. It definitely brings a pistol to a new level, and very unique build of being like a vampire with Immortal, unlimited glow and power and health. Very cool run and gun play style that will melt bosses and regular enemies. I'd like to know y'all's thoughts on it. Did you think it was going to be that good? Have you tried playing the Ghoul yet? Have you tried playing with the Gamagun as a Ghoul yet? What do you think about it? Or are you stuck with your auto axe and Gatling plasma? I get it. But anyway, this is Big Red. Hope y'all got something out of it. If you did, like, subscribe, and hope y'all thrive and survive out there. And I'll see y'all in the next one.